Hi everyone, welcome back to Rocksteady. Tracy here. Now, sorry about yesterday. We had a huge thunderstorm early in the morning that knocked out our electricity, and it was off until about 9 o'clock in the evening. Awful. Had nothing. So I wanted to do a video yesterday as well, because I wanted to update you. Now, I didn't call my doctor, the GP. I didn't call the dermatologist, but I did consult Dr. Google. Now, I know you're going to think, oh, what? You know, that's just silly. But I'd looked at certain things, and for one thing, it said you need to use the cream for a month, or 3 weeks to a month. So I figured, hasn't been that long. Another thing, and I've seen places where it said you can get a result as quickly as 3 days or a couple of weeks, but I did looked it up on these like official proper sites, and it said that on certain areas of your body, face included, especially on your nose, it's more resistant, so it can take longer because it's a more resistant area. So I figured, oh, okay, perhaps I'm more resistant on my face, like so it says, and so I'll give it a bit longer. Also, what was I going to say? I had an appointment yesterday for the hospital for my cancer checkup, and I figured I could show him. So that was another thing that made me not do it. And also, I'd started to see really red raw areas. Like there's a right there is an area that when you look at it in the mirror, it's not just red, it is absolutely, I don't know if I can show it to you, it's absolutely crimson. It doesn't look it when, because the lights kind of stop it from being obvious, but it really is. It's kind of right in the center there, and it is very red. And not last night so much, but the night before, it started to get a bit tender to touch. Not anymore. So yeah, and cup it all, there were some, I looked and said, can it work without the reaction? And so I read that, and it said some people's reaction is very mild. You know, some people don't get very much reaction at all. So I figured all of those things just made me think, oh well, stick with it, and we'll see. So I mentioned that I had an appointment with my cancer doctor yesterday for my checkup, and I was going to show him, but then all of a sudden I got a call, and it was a voicemail, because when I have power cuts, I don't really get phone calls. I get, oh, you've had a missed call, but it didn't ring, because it's just not good enough signal without the internet to do it. So anyway, I listened to the voicemail when I was out of the area, and it said, we're really sorry, we've had to cancel your appointment due to the fact that we have an emergency. So Gary said, what kind of emergency can they have? So I said, well, when I was first diagnosed with the cancer, I became an emergency. So somebody else's appointment got bumped so he could have me in the office and tell me my bad news. I said, that's the emergency, and seeing that person then becomes an emergency, because you have to get the ball rolling on getting rid of their cancer. I said, so, you know, if you think about it, my appointment is now someone getting the really bad news that they dread. So that's the emergency. And, you know, I've got my appointment now in July. It's not too far away. So I think it's the 11th. And, you know, I don't mind, really. It would have been nice not to have been around the house yesterday because of the power issue. Would have been a bit of a distraction from that, because we had no power all day. It was an absolute challenge and a nightmare, but you know, these things happen in this area, unfortunately. And apparently there was a loud bang and flash at the substation. There was also, it was down here actually near the cliff, the whole cable, it was like there's 3 cables in one, and it kind of is entwined, you know, like yarn or rope is twisted. These 3 are twisted together, and one of them had snapped. So they had to isolate it all and locate that and figure it out. It took them a long time. So we will carry on with this, and I will go back to see the GP, and I will sort out my dermatology appointment. And but for now I'll carry on because I've got a resistant nose, maybe. Well, any area on the face is apparently more resistant, can be more resistant. Not just there, but there's certain other areas. I suppose it depends what kind of skin. I mean, it's, if you've got it in a more tender area, then I reckon they react more. Oh, there it is. If you've got an area that is used to being weathered, let's say, perhaps that's why it's a more resistant area. So things like your arms and your face are out in weather and the sun all the time. You can't really be off it. So you've got to factor those up if you're out and about. So the areas that are exposed all the time, maybe those are the resistant areas. So yeah, just lucky, I guess. Anyway, I will keep you informed. But I've definitely started to see more deeper red areas of skin. So then the next morning I wake up and it doesn't look like that anymore, or it's certainly not painful. It was quite tender to the touch the other day. Not anymore. Why did more have to come out than you want of these wax? It's annoying. Okay, well, thanks for sticking with me. I will stick with it and wait and see what my GP says when I go see him, and chase up my dermatology. But I figured, you know, I don't really want to start kind of jumping the gun if it does take longer to react for some people or some areas. And in fact, you know, maybe I'm one of those people that's not going to get a huge reaction. I might be lucky in that respect, that I'm not going to get that red, raw, nasty, looks like an open sore. Maybe we'll have to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.